Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Aska Janiar Amalia and I'm from 335A07. And today I'm going to present the topic of phrasal structure rules, which is a part of our syntax project. In this presentation, I will explain what phrasal structure rules are, how they work in sentence, and why they are important in understand English sentence structures. So we move to the next slide. Before we move into the main discussion about phrasal structure rules, it is important to understand what syntax actually means. So, syntax is one of the major of branches linguistics, and it focuses on how words are combined and arranged to form larger units such as phrases, clauses, and complete sentence. In other words, syntax deals with the structure of sentences and grammatical relationships among the words inside them. It studies how each word plays a particular role, whether as a subject, verb, object, or complement, and how these elements interact to create a clear and meaningful statement. Syntax also looks at sentence patterns and word order. For example, in English, we usually follow the pattern subject plus verb plus object. And if we change that order, the meaning or grammatically or the sentence might also change. What makes syntax interesting is that it reveals the hidden rules that every speaker of a language follows, even if they are not aware of them. Native speakers intuitively know that sounds correct or natural, and syntax helps us describe and explain why that is the case. Therefore, studying syntax allows us to analyze language in a systematic way. It helps us see the logic behind sentence formation, the relationships between words and phrases, and the principles that govern how language is organized. In short, syntax is the foundation of grammatical understanding. Without it, we cannot explain how words combine to express complex ideas in a coherent and meaningful way. And we move to the topic. We move to the topic in this presentation. So, what are phrasal structure rules? Phrasal structure rules are grammatical rules that describe how words are grouped and combined to form phrases and sentences. They are also called phrase structure rules or rewrite rewrite rules because they show how one linguistic element can be rewritten as a combination of smaller components. These rules define the hierarchical organization of language, showing the relationship between the sentence as whole and its smaller parts. The simplest and most fundamental rules is as NP plus VP, which means that a sentence as is composed of a noun phrase NP and a verb phrase VP. So, phrasal structure rules are the core principles that explain how we build sentences from smaller grammatical units. They serve as blueprints for sentence construction, describing the step-by-step process of how words combine to form meaningful phrases and complete sentences. These rules are often called phrasal structure rules or rewrite rules because they allow us to rewrite a single grammatical category such as a sentence into its smaller components, for example into a noun phrase or a verb phrase. The most basic rules as NP plus VP tell us that every English sentence consists of a noun phrase and a verb phrase. The noun phrase usually serves as a subject and the verb phrase serves as the predicate, which provides information about what the subject does or experiences. Phrasal structure rules, therefore, not only describe sentence composition but also show us the logical and grammatical relationships between words and phrases. They are the foundation for deeper syntactic analysis. So, we move to the function of phrasal structure rules. For number 1, they describe the hierarchical organization of a sentence, showing how words combine into phrases and phrases combine into clauses and sentences. They help identify syntactic relationships between different elements such as subject, verbs, and objects. They provide a framework for syntactic analysis through which we can understand and visualize sentence structure. They make it possible to construct syntax trees that illustrate grammatical relationships visually. They represent the deep structure of or the abstract grammatical organization beneath the surface of every sentence. The main purpose of phrasal structure rules is to explain how sentences are organized internally. These rules describe the hierarchical structure of language starting from the smallest unit, like a single word, moving up to larger units such as phrases, and finally to the full sentence. By using these rules, linguists can identify which words belong together as a single phrase. For instance, a determiner and a noun form a noun phrase, while a verb and its object form a verb phrase. Another important function of these rules is that they provide the foundation for drawing syntax trees, which are visual tools to represent how a sentence is built. These trees help us analyze not only word order but also the relationships between subjects, predicates, and complements. Moreover, phrasal structure rules reveal the deep structure of sentence, the underlying grammatical pattern that determines meaning correctness even if surface forms vary. And we move to the components of phrases. We talk about the components of phrases. Common types of phrases is in English syntax. Noun phrase, NP, built around a noun and may include determiners or modifiers. Verb phrase, VP, centered around a main verb and may include objects or complements. Adjective phrase contains an adjective as the head, possibly with modifiers. Adverb phrases built around an adverb that modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Prepositional phrases begins with a preposition and ends with a noun phrases as at its object. Each phrase has a head word that determines its category and grammatical function. So, each phrase in English syntax, phrases are the building blocks of the sentence. Each phrase type has a central word known as the head that determines what kind of phrase it is. For example, in a noun phrase, the head is a noun, and it can be accompanied by determiners or adjectives like in the beautiful girl. A verb phrase has a verb as its head and may include objects or complements such as plays the guitar. The adjective phrase and adverb phrase are used to give more information or to modify other elements. Meanwhile, a prepositional phrase always begins with a preposition such as in, on, at, or with, and it is followed by a noun phrase that acts as its object. By identifying these phrase types, we can apply phrasal structure rules more accurately because each rule depends on the function and arrangement of these components. So we move to the examples of phrasal structure rules. Let's now discuss some examples of phrasal structure rules. The most basic one, as NP plus VP tells us that every sentence is formed by combining a noun phrase and a verb phrase. Next, NP determiner determiner plus adjective plus noun plus PP or prepositional phrase shows how a noun phrase can be structured. It may start with a determiner, followed by an adjective, a noun, and possibly a prepositional phrase. For example, in the tall boy in the classroom, all those parts form one complete noun phrase. VP, V plus NP plus PP plus ADP explains that a verb phrase can contain a verb, a possible object, a propositional phrase, or even an adverb phrase that gives additional information about time, place, or manner. Finally, PP, P plus NP indicates that a propositional phrase begins with a preposition and must be followed by a noun phrase. These rules act as a formulas for sentence generation. They describe not only what elements can appear together, but also the order in which they appear, something that is crucial for grammatical accuracy. And understanding sentence structure. Phrasal structure rules are essential for understanding how sentences are built from the inside. They reveal the grammatical framework that supports meaning, showing how words relate to each other. Every rule represents a level in the sentence hierarchy, from the complete sentence at the top, down to smaller units such as phrases and eventually to individual words. These rules also help linguists analyze whether a sentence is grammatical. When we break down a sentence using phrasal structure rules, we can see clearly if the elements fit into their proper places. Moreover, these rules connect the surface structure, what we hear or see, with the deep structure, which represents the hidden organization that gives the sentence its meaning. Understanding this difference helps explain why two sentences may look different but carry similar meanings. And next slide, the importance of phrasal structure rules. Phrasal structure rules are extremely important in both linguistic theory and practical applications. In language education, they help students understand why certain word orders are correct while others are not. This promotes grammatical accuracy and fluency in writing and speaking. In academic linguistics, these rules provide a systematic way to analyze the grammatical structure of sentences across different languages. They make it possible to compare linguistic systems and identify universal grammatical patterns. Beyond education, phrasal structure rules are also used in modern technology, particularly in computational linguistics and natural language processing, where computers are programmed to recognize and interpret human language. In short, these rules bridge the gap between theory and practice, helping both humans and machines understand language more effectively. And visualizing phrasal structure through syntax trees. One of the most effective ways to understand phrasal structure rules is by using syntax trees. A syntax tree is a diagram that shows how words and phrases are organized within a sentence. Each branch of the tree represents a grammatical rule. The top node, usually labeled as for a sentence, divided into two branches, NP and VP. Each of those branches then splits again into smaller parts, following the rules we have discussed earlier. Syntax trees help us visualize how a sentence grows from its smallest units into a complete structure. They also help linguists and students see the deep structure of language, something that cannot always be seen from the surface from alone. And we move to the last part in conclusion. To conclude, phrasal structure rules are a fundamental part of syntax because they describe how sentences are systematically formed. They help us see language not as random words, but as an organized system built through predictable patterns. By studying these rules, we gain a deeper understanding of grammar, not only how to speak to write correctly, but also why sentences work the way they do. These rules also connect theory with practice, from classroom grammar to advanced fields like computational linguistics. In essence, phrasal structure rules give us the tools to analyze, explain, and visualize the logic behind human language. And we move to part 2, which is about syntax tree diagram analysis. In this part, I will analyze 10 different English sentences and explain their syntactic structure using tree diagrams. Each diagram will show how every word is categorized according to its part of speech and how those words are grouped into phrases to form a complete sentence. Sentence number 1. The tall boy is reading novel in the classroom. The first sentence is the tall boy is reading novel in the classroom. This sentence consists of a noun phrases NP and verb phrase VP. The noun phrase, the tall boy, functions as the subject. It is formed from a determiner D, an adjective tall, and a noun boy. The verb phrase is reading a novel in the classroom functions as the predicate. Inside the verb phrase is the auxiliary verb. Reading is the main verb. A novel is a noun phrase and P functioning as the object. And in the classroom is prepositional phrase PP showing the location. The prepositional phrase itself consists of a preposition in and another noun phrase, the classroom. So the structure of this sentence can be represented as C as and P plus VP. And the second sentence is the teacher teaches English. This sentence has a simple structure consisting of the subject NP and a predicate VP. The subject noun phrase, the teacher, is made up of a determiner D and a noun teacher. The predicate teaches English is verb phrase that contains a verb teaches and an object noun phrase English. Since English is a noun, it directly functions as the object without a determiner. Therefore, this tree is quite simple, representing the basic pattern as NP plus VP, where VP, V plus NP. The third sentence is Sarah will visit her grandmother after the final exam. The subject here is the proper noun Sarah, which stands alone as a noun phrase. The predicate begins with an auxiliary verb will followed by the main verb visit. Then, her grandmother is a noun phrase that serves as the object of the verb. The phrase after the final exam is a propositional phrase that tells us when or under what condition the action happens. Inside that PP, after is the preposition and the final exam. And the final exam is the noun phrase that completes the preposition. This sentence is an example of structure with both auxiliary and prepositional phrase inside the verb phrase. And the fourth sentence is the man in the black jacket helped the old woman. The subject noun phrase is the man in the black jacket. Here the man is modified by prepositional phrase in the black jacket. The prepositional phrase describes which man we are talking about. It gives additional information. The predicate verb phrase help the old woman contains the verb help and an object noun phrase the old woman. That object noun phrase has a determiner D and an adjective old and a noun woman. Overall, the tree shows multiple layers of modification inside the noun phrase and the verb phrase. And the fifth sentence is they have been studying English for 3 years. The subject is they, which is a pronoun functioning as a complete noun phrase. The verb phrase is complex, consisting of two auxiliary verbs have and been plus the main verb studying. The phrase English functions as the object, while for 3 years is a prepositional phrase that tells the duration of time. The PP includes a preposition for and a noun phrase 3 years where 3 acts as a determiner or numeral and years is the noun. This sentence shows how auxiliary verbs can combine with a main verb to form the progressive perfect tense structure. The sixth sentence is the girl plays the guitar. The subject noun phrase is the girl, composed of a determiner D and a noun girl. The verb phrase is plays the guitar. Here, plays is the main verb and the guitar is the object noun phrase made of a determiner and a noun. This is another simple declarative sentence with the structure C and S and P plus VP, which is common in English syntax. The seventh sentence is the student read a book in the library. The subject NP is the students with D as a determiner and students as a noun. The verb phrase read a book in the library contains a verb read and an object NP a book and a prepositional phrase in the library. The PP modifies the verb and indicates the location of the action. Inside that PP, in is the preposition and the library is a noun phrase. So this tree diagram clearly shows the hierarchical structure between NP, VP, and PP. The eighth sentence is the teacher gave homework to the class. The subject NP is the teacher. The verb phrase gave homework to the class includes a verb gave, a direct object homework, and the propositional phrase to the class, which functions as an indirect object. The PP is made up of a preposition to and NP the class. This kind of structure shows a detransitive verb, meaning the verb give takes both a direct and an indirect object. And the ninth sentence is the dog chased the cat. The subject NP is the dog, composed of a determiner and a noun. The verb phrase it chased the cat, where chase is the verb and the cat is the object NP. The pattern is simple but shows a clear subject-predicate relationship typical in English declarative sentence. The last sentence is my friend bought a new phone yesterday. The subject NP is my friend. Form from a possessive determiner my and a noun friend. The verb phrase bought a new phone yesterday contains the verb bought, an object NP, a new phone, and an adverb yesterday. The NP, a new phone includes a determiner, an adjective, and a noun, while yesterday tells us when the action happened. So the sentence can be analyzed as C as NP V plus NP plus VP with an adverb functioning as an optional modifier within the VP. So that's all for my explanation and presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening my explanation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.